All right, top of the morning. Again, top of the morning to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. Take two. Thank you for tuning in. This is Getting in the Green with Perfect Strangers. I am your host with the most, Daryl. I am happier than a pig in slop, and I'm with my man, Corey G. Corey, what is good, bro?
Not much, man. Good night of basketball last night.
Yeah, it is. It was. It really was. How'd you do last night?
I ended up plus 2.5 units and hit a lot of the small stuff I was betting. So ended up getting there with the Knicks. They pulled it off. I had that Denver money line plus 310 last night. They almost gave it up. But 2 out of 3 on the Cleveland trifecta. So pretty good night. Pretty good night.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Cleveland smacked um the shit out of New Orleans in the first quarter. That was crazy. You just saw it was going somewhere. Second quarter, not so much, but they were able to clear that as well. So the first quarter and first half did pretty well. They were up by 10, 58-48. And then I don't know what happened, man. I don't know. Cleveland fell into Cleveland of old. Yeah, let's get into these games on last night real quick, man. Milwaukee did go in and smack Orlando, like we said.
Yeah,
Bobby
that was
Portis put up 5 threes. Good day, good day. Washington lost to the Miami Heat. You did have the showcase of Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, which I really liked. They were just, I think they were 13 for 23 between the both of them. So they had a pretty good night shooting there. Jimmy Buckets was just doing Jimmy Buckets things. Philly at Toronto. Remember, that game was kind of concerning us.
Yeah.
That game was like, wait a minute, man, this spread is kind of low, bro. Like, let's kind of give us cause for pause there. And yeah, that was 114 to 109. They did not cover that spread, which is kind of crazy. That did get down to 6 also. Didn't step on it. I'm glad I didn't. My only play was the Cleveland first half play. Lakers went in and handled business. Can't lose LeBron handling business. Handling business. Bro.
How many nights off do you think he needs now for that?
Shut up. This is what we doing? This is what we doing. Okay, I got you, little hater, little hating ass. I got you, Corey. I got you. You can go ahead and hate. We won, man. We won. That's all that matter. I didn't have to hate watch the team. I didn't have to break nothing. We good, man. We good. Now I wasn't bold enough to bet on them. I wasn't bold enough to do that. But yeah, 132 to 123. A game of absolutely no defense. New York did go in and beat Minnesota. Kind of an abysmal
sloppy game.
Yeah, that game was crazy.
Yeah.
That game was crazy. I watched that, and that was just a little different. A little different. Cleveland did lose 104 to 108 to New Orleans, which was kind of crazy. Didn't think I would see that ever. Denver came and they got it done, man. I did watch the Golden State game. Great game. Low scoring game, man. 86 to 89 was the final score. Came down to the final bucket, which, they all listen. Denver almost tricked that game off, bro. I mean, they were up by almost 30, and then you have the third quarter Warriors, another team that just gets it together in the second half. Whatever adjustment Kerr makes, you got to give that guy's props. And then finally, we do have the last game, OKC to Sacramento. Didn't even want to touch that game, but the Kings did cover 111 to 117. Overall, a good night of basketball. Overnight, a really good night of basketball. Did you see that Ricky Rubio injury?
Yeah, that one hurt.
You think he's gone for the season?
Possibly, man.
Yeah.
It sucks because it's a bad time for them. They were rolling.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He went down immediately, had to get help getting off. So I don't know how that's going to be. So yeah, that was the night of ball, man. Let's get into today's games. We've got pretty decent games on the slate. Ball is starting to come around, man. It's starting to come around, Corey. Happy about that, bro. Let's get into it. First thing we got going on here right now is Charlotte at Indiana. Indiana is home dogs. This line in some cases, man, was 2.5. So money is coming in on Charlotte. I think this is going to be the third game they've played. Remember, this was the abysmal, just complete meltdown by the Pacers. And this was in the beginning of the season when they were up by 26, and Charlotte just went on a crazy run. And this is when I started to realize that Borrego has a really good second half game plan. Right now, we've got quite a few people out. Just as far as health and safety protocols, you still have Miles and PJ out for health and safety. You still have Lamb that's been questionable with this wrist. Malcolm Brogdon is questionable, which is crazy. Both TJs are out. So some key injuries for this. Charlotte doesn't play until next year. And Indy doesn't play until the end of the year on the 31st. So in about 2 more days. I'll tell you right now, man. I I don't think for what Pacers can't beat Charlotte. Now I'm gonna look at their head to head, and Charlotte's got them every time. For whatever reason, Charlotte has their number, right? So for Charlotte to be dogs here, I understand it's I just don't understand why they are. This number scares me. Again, it scares me. It should be more points. It should be absolutely more points. Now, the last game came very close. Now, for what it's worth, these both 2 games have been close, right? The very first game, 122 to 123, came down to it, the bonus shot that was missed at the last minute. And then Charlotte, 121 to 118. So the games are close. I do give them that. But I do think the way Charlotte is playing now, and now that we've progressed further in the season, this line should be larger. I do like Charlotte here. I don't know if I'm going to step on this game. Should be a high scoring game. 227.5 is the total. I'm not going to have any action in this game. I'm just going to watch it. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't want action on either side, but I do like the over here. I think Indiana will play into a pace-up spot with them, and the Hornets have been right back to Hornets of old with the defense. So, yeah, I don't care about, the sides here. I think it is a close game. I might take the points here with Charlotte if I was going to take a side. But the over looks good here, and I think this is probably a good spot for DFS. We could definitely get in on some, maybe Karis LeVert if Brogdon doesn't go. Bonus is always going to be a good play here. And then, you still struggle with the Hornets. Guys are just overpriced since all their injuries. But, yeah, I mean, good game, though. We'll see if Indiana can get one here against them, but I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, at least one. So I don't know. You got key players out. I definitely think you need Brogdon in there, without a shadow of a doubt. Karis LeVert, he's streaky. I guess we've expected more than what he's given right now. Maybe it's just him still getting to the flow of the game. But I do need Brogdon in there to even entertain looking at Indy. So we'll see. But for right now, no play for me on this game. Yeah, man. Another game that we have on the slate here, which is New York at Detroit. Right now, New York is -6, total being 205.5. That number hasn't moved off much. I did look last night. It has moved down a hook. You saw in some books, it was either New York -5.5 or New York -6.5. So it's leveled out at this -6 here. New York is starting to play pretty decent. They've gotten some games under their belt now. They've on a 2-game win streak. They have beat the spreads in that manner as well. Their last loss came to Washington December 23rd. And then Detroit is just Detroit. They've lost 3 in a row. They did lose to New York on the 21st, 91 to 105. Didn't even hit the century mark. New York is playing pretty decent, man. They're starting to come around. I do like how they're playing. I do believe they can just go and get it done again. I don't see if Detroit, how this New York team is playing now, they're holding their opponents. Besides Miami, or besides, let's see, they're holding their opponents right now, the last 2 games, and that's Minnesota, which is a high-scoring team, and Atlanta, which, for what it's worth, they haven't had their set players in. They've been holding them under 100. Detroit doesn't score 100 points. And so this is one of these games to where you've got that low total for a reason, because the books believe Detroit is not going to score 100 points, right? So I do believe New York can get it done. Um, I'm liking New York here. I'm going to wait to see if there's any kind of movement. You've got a lot of people out for Detroit. You've got some people out for the Knicks as well. A lot of people are still on health and safety protocols. Um, yeah, it's either New York here or just pass on this game. Who do you like? Sides players.
Yeah, I want to see the Cade Cunningham news. If he ends up playing, I think this game's pretty competitive. I went against my better judgment, bet the Knicks last night. It paid off, but I can't see myself getting there again here tonight, especially on a back-to-back for them on the road. They're kind of shorthanded as is. We'll see, if some guys rest, maybe Kemba. But this is a pass for me. Low-scoring game. It's going to be another ugly game. Even the Knicks win last night it was ugly. It wasn't pretty basketball. There's a lot of turnovers, a lot of open missed shots. So we'll see if fresher legs prevail here for Detroit, but I'm going to
Yeah.
pass on this one.
Yeah, and that's why you see that low total also. It is a back-to-back for New York. Detroit has had some time off, but they're still Detroit, man. I mean, Detroit and Orlando are technically the bottom feeders of the league. You can put OKC and Houston there as well, but Detroit and Orlando specifically. So, yep, no play for me on this game as well. Another good game that should be good if you had your right players. That is the Clippers at Boston. This right now is Boston minus 5.5. This is another game that's kind of stayed stale. Totals 210.5 here, right? Instead of asking who isn't playing, ask who is playing, because the Clippers in Boston have absolutely nobody right now that's worth a damn playing in this game. Marcus Smart is questionable. So for that could be a move on Boston. Maybe this line is kind of telling you, even though there hasn't been any sudden move, that Marcus Smart is going to play. But you got Schroeder still out. You got Tatum out. You got Fernando that's out. You've got Miles that's out. Naismith that's out. I mean, it's just a decimated team right now. And the same for the Clippers. And they've got people who you don't even know on the Clippers who are out, right? So it's one of these games to where Boston has been playing well as of late as well. The Clippers have lost the last two to Brooklyn and Denver. And then Boston has lost the last two. They beat Cleveland, but they lost to Minnesota and they lost to Milwaukee, which people are going to start doing now that you got Milwaukee healthy. But Boston seems like the better side. I don't want to even touch this game. I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to touch it. I don't see an angle here at all. Not when you have this many people out. Now, if you do have Marcus Smart in, that kind of gives you a little hope. But then you got 5.5 points being a lot of points, in my opinion, that Boston has to cover in order to win this game. So Boston plays on the 31st. The Clippers are going to turn around and play on the 31st as well. So you do have maybe a situation to where they go balls to the wall and then just rest for a couple of days, right? But other than that, I just don't see any advantage in playing either side here. So if we want to use your theory, which as of now, you have lost it, and that is just bet against the Clippers team, so be it. Who do you like here, man? Who do you like? You like any sides or totals or plays here?
Oh, we're betting Boston tonight, without a doubt.
Okay.
This Clipper team looked abysmal. They just can't score with those guys on the floor. They were actually hot against Brooklyn early. Morris was hitting threes. Bledsoe looked good early. Kennard, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, those people I just named, man, that is not an NBA starting five. And I think Jaylen Brown can get it done here.
Yeah.
I doesn't have Tatum, but they got their bigs in place, and the Clippers are really small right now. I think Horford, Robert Williams should have good games. So, yeah, I'm on Boston's side here. I do think the over-under is pretty – I think we're going to get a low-scoring game here, though. I think they're pretty accurate on that 210. But
on that 210, yeah. Yeah. You see, I mean, there's some low totals besides the first game these totals are pretty low today.
So, yeah, that's why DFS, you got to load up on that Charlotte game just because they're one of the few pace-up spots on the game. But, yeah, so I'll be going Boston here. Might give them a look Boston first half as well.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no play, man. I just don't want this smoke. I really don't. When it gets to when it gets to a point to where you can't even name the players on the team, it's just like, yo, why bother? And that's just me, right? I'm the stupid guy. I don't really know much when it comes to the depth of the players. I'm not that well versed, so I'll leave that to the pros. But I get it. I get it. If it's Boston for you right now, I was just looking at the number on my phone. It's Boston -1, so they're not even coming close to covering. But maybe the books can't even really understand how players with no names are even playing. How do you game plan for these guys? Bottom line, how do you scout for these guys? So yeah, no play for me on this game here. Woo! Atlanta at Chicago. Chicago -8.5, total being 221 right now. I see it's gone up to 222. So money is coming in on that over. And once again, bro, who is playing for Atlanta? I mean, looking at this injury report, it's longer than the damn roster itself. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy right now. Atlanta's gone on a 2-game losing streak, losing to New York on Christmas, then losing to Chicago here. So this is the home and home or revenge game. Chicago smacked them, man, 130 to 118. I don't see this being any different. That spread was 3.5. This one's 8.5, right? I just don't see who stops the scoring. So my lean here right now, unless I see any different news, and they did this without Ball. They did this without the elite passing the ball. So no one's going to stop DeMar DeRozan. No one's going to stop Valanciunas, and Vucevic. I'm sorry, and no one's going to stop Levine. And that's all you need right now. We're not even talking about Williams. I like Williams a lot. I like that young kid Williams. I can't wait till he comes back from this wrist injury just to see how they put him in the game. But we're not even talking about the main players. We're not even talking about Caruso, who's not even playing till January. It's a lot of pieces gone for Chicago right now. And these guys went in, just smacked the shit out of Atlanta. So, yeah, I would only have to ride that train again. Chicago is the hot team. Just looking at how they're playing, they're right now, man, 1, 2, 3, 4-game win streak. Let's just keep it going right now. This will be game 5 for them. I don't see how Atlanta does anything against Chicago with their decimated team. I do like Chicago here. Give me Chicago -8.5. I will step on that, just waiting for a little bit of news. So this will be a game I will play. Chicago's the better team, 8.5. I will take it.
I'm all over Chicago here. That game I was all over a couple nights ago.
Yeah, you went heavy on them, didn't you?
Huh?
You went heavy on them, didn't you?
Yeah, I ended up with 5 units on Chicago there. And I even bet them in the first quarter when they were down big. That game, they should have won by 30. Atlanta was ridiculously hot to start that game. Cam Reddish and Bogdanovich couldn't miss. I think, Reddish ended up like 8 for 12 from 3, scored 33 points. We saw the best version of Atlanta we could possibly see in that game at home, and they lost by 12. You got Bogdanovich out. He was, he scored 20 in that game, so they lost that. There's 20 points gone. And I just don't see Cam Reddish repeating that game on the road here. So I got Chicago. I got Chicago by double digits. I think this game might play under, though. I think they shut Atlanta down here. Their defense will step up. So I probably won't touch it, but I do. Chicago, this should be a Chicago trifecta here.
Really? Call in trifecta on this game. Call in trifecta. I'm looking. Chicago doesn't really do good in the first quarter. But I can see how you can take it. Yeah, they're a bottom feeder team. They're actually under 500 in first quarter. But they are, they're 500 at home as of right now. And this is the odd shark table. Now, this could be different as of December 22nd. So it hasn't been updated in a week. So, yeah, we'll see here what that looks like. But Chicago, I am scared of them first quarter. But this is just a good squad all around, man. This is a really good squad all around. So I will ride with you on that. We're going to see if this number moves a little bit. But I do like Chicago heavy as well. I'm gonna tell you now, man. I have a love-hate relationship with the Lakers. Hey, I love them. I love them. I love them. Last night, I loved them a lot, but I'm still not going to play this game. I'm still not going to play this game. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you, we saw the performance that Memphis had against Phoenix, right? We saw that performance. Came down to a last shot by John Morant, and they beat Phoenix, which is a dominant squad right now. This just seems like a game that Memphis should just steamroll through as far as the Lakers, right? The 215.5 is a total right now. Memphis is the home favorites at -4.5. This line scares me. This one really kind of scares me here. Guy on the couch did mess up on this graphic. I don't care. This line scares me. It's too low, in my opinion. It's too low off a team who came off a back-to-back, who still had at one point in time lost 5 games in a row. I mean, you beat Houston, you're supposed to beat Houston. But you still lost to Brooklyn, San Antonio, Phoenix, Chicago, and Minnesota. And now you're playing a team who just smacked Phoenix. I'm a little scared of this game because it just seems like it's one of those lines that's telling me a story. I haven't really gotten that story, but this line to me is too low. It's too low. Why is Memphis at only -4.5? Looking at their heads-to-heads, they played on the 9th. Memphis got them 108-95. They played on the 24th. LA got them 121-118. I just don't see why this line is at 4.5. It just tells me that maybe, even though it's a back-to-back, the Lakers can come and win this game. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, Corey. But yeah, I am going to stay off this game as well because this line is just telling me something crazy. What do you got here? Players, sides, totals. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm all over Memphis. You already know.
Oh, come on.
Hey, I told you, you might lose one with the Lakers, but they're not going on some kind of run here. It's a back-to-back. I wouldn't be shocked. They played heavy minutes last night, and they shot lights out. I wouldn't be shocked if, it might not be LeBron or Westbrook, but somebody's probably going to sit here. I am shocked with this over-under, though. It scares me.
Low.
It's way too low. Both these teams have been playing at an incredible pace lately. No defense. So I like the over here. Unless I'm going to wait, though. I'm going to see if some news comes out on one of these teams that we don't quite have yet because that number looks very low.
That spread doesn't bother you, Corey, at all, man. That spread does not bother you. I mean, you don't
there's an LA tax, man. They refuse to make the Lakers big underdogs. Just too much money comes in on LA.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't have a problem with the spread. I think
guy on couches, he's crazy today, man. He doing too much.
But yeah, so I'm over Memphis. But yeah, I really want to. I'm going to wait because I think somebody might be ruled out here. The 215.5 is pretty telling that they don't expect this game to play like we think it's going to.
Interesting, very, very interesting. Yeah, it is a back-to-back, but I'm scared of that side. To be honest with you, like I'm honestly scared of that side and why it's so low. So let me look at my. Yeah, I mean, this came in at 4.5. It stayed at 4.5. So it wasn't even like the Sharps hit aside to raise this number. This line has been at 4.5, right? So maybe there is some news. Maybe there is some news that's going to come out on this game. Either way, I don't want to play it, man, because I would look at Memphis, but because the line is so short, it's telling me that maybe something's going to happen. If you like Memphis, take them now. Like you said, you think this is going to be a blowout. Somebody's going to sit on LA side. I get it. But I'm still going to ride this wave of victorious glory because of what LA did yesterday. I'm happy with it. So it's going to be another game that I sit and watch just to see how it goes. Next game we have San Antonio against Miami. The over and under on this game is 217.5. Right now, that line has stayed at 217.5. -3 now. This was 3.5 earlier. It is down to -3. So money is coming in on Miami. When I saw this line, Corey, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird because you wouldn't think that they would give the home advantage to San Antonio. Miami did play last night, played pretty damn good as well. But I would have to agree with this side here. I would definitely have to agree with this side. The play that I have on this game today, only because of how well they do in the first quarter, is San Antonio first quarter. I don't have a line for that just yet, but that's the direction I'm going, only because of how well they play. They are right under the Cavaliers, right under the Cavaliers as far as how they play, how well they play. How the Cavaliers play their first quarter games away is how San Antonio plays them at home. That's how they play them at home. So as of last week, San Antonio was 21-9 first quarter ATS. 21-9. 3 of those losses, only 3 have came at home. 12-3 at home. So I do like San Antonio first quarter. This is going to be another side that I jump on. San Antonio first quarter. I don't see a line right now readily available for Bovada, but whatever it is, I'm going to take it. San Antonio first quarter. That's the play I'm on. I just see like this is a game because it's also a back-to-back for Miami that maybe you do get a little momentum going. Miami's going to probably take a second to wake up, either that or they're just going to not have it there altogether, at least first quarter. So give me San Antonio first quarter. That will be a line that I will be looking for, and I will take that line, whatever it is. What do you like? Players, sides, totals? What are you going after?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till last minute here, but I think Miami can get this done for the game if nobody sits, but they're already shorthanded, so they can't afford, for anybody else to sit after last night's game. But I thought they handled last night's game pretty well.
They did.
The minutes were kind of big for Hero, but I think they're going to be fine here on a back-to-back. I'm going to wait, though. We'll see who gets ruled out, but I just can't bet on the Spurs, man. I'm just not a believer.
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's why I couldn't take full game, right? This is still the Spurs. But like I've said, and I've spoken on this ad nauseum, you give Pop just a little bit of time to game plan. They are healthy, right? They do have their set pieces as well. I really like Pirtle being the big in this game. So right now, you're missing DeJounte Murray and Zach Collins, who's been out, right? DeJounte Murray is a huge loss, but at the same token, Miami doesn't really have any bigs right now, right? So I think that's going to be the advantage to San Antonio is working in the bigs, especially Pirtle. So I do like San Antonio first quarter. That's where I'm going. Wouldn't be surprised if they still lose the game, though.
My bad.
Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
From a DFS perspective, I was going to say Yurt 7 for Miami is going to be a must play tonight. They're going to have to match Jakob Pirtle's minutes with his, and he's looked really good since getting the start here, 4,600. So he should be a great bargain play tonight.
Do you think so you think you could get at least 10, 15 points from him?
He scored 36 the last 2 games, fantasy points. And It's just a minutes thing. If he's going to play 30 plus minutes at that price, I mean, he's going to score some points. He's a hustler, man.
I get it. Couldn't talk you off that as well. All right, man. So yeah, first quarter play for me, and you're saying Yurtseven. Got it. Get it. Good. Guy on the couch is hungover from the Lakers win yesterday. Just want to kind of put that out there. Guy on the couch is completely hungover. So, I don't know what we might have to find a new guy on couch. We've got, man, OKC at Phoenix Suns. This was minus 15 last night. I actually tweeted this out. I was like, yo, this is pretty high. This is pretty high to me. Minus 15 with the total being 216.5. So you got a high spread and a low total. This is a smash spot for Phoenix. How they play after a loss, man, says a lot. I believe a lot of money is coming in on OKC because they just believe that the game that Phoenix lost is saying something, as well as just really that line being too high. I'm not afraid of this spread at all. I'm completely not afraid of this spread. I do like Phoenix here. I'm going to see if you get some more movement because I wouldn't be surprised if this drops another hook, right? OKC lost to Sacramento last night, so they're coming off a back-to-back. They beat New Orleans. They lost to Phoenix 113 to 101, but that was probably a game that should have easily been. It should have the spread should have been a lot higher there as well. So this game, to me, if you ask me, I believe this is easily a 20-point win by the first half. Easily. So if you think that spread is too high, take Phoenix Suns first half. You'll cut this in half and maybe about -8. Take Phoenix Suns -8. It's just one of those games, man, where I believe that Phoenix is going to come back and smell blood in the water, attack. They did not like that Memphis loss. Memphis did play a good game against them. Right now, just looking at OKC, you do have a lot of people out. COVID has hit that team as well, including the head coach. So now it's kind of interesting to see how this game is played without Mark Daigneault. And once again, it's a game that is going to get out of hand, in my opinion, for OKC. Bottom line, Phoenix missing Ayton, which is probably saying a lot and why they didn't do too good against Memphis, right? But he's out indefinitely for his illness. Jay Crowder is still out. So maybe that's why people are thinking that OKC has a chance. I don't get it. You don't have Giddey in there. You don't have Baisley in there. You don't have Pukasevsky in there. I mean, you basically have SGA and Lou Dort. So what are you going to do? Absolutely nothing against Booker. Absolutely nothing against Chris Paul. Absolutely nothing against Cam Johnson. Absolutely nothing against these guys. So in my opinion, this is a blowout. This could easily be a trifecta as well, but I don't want to step on the first quarter. I do like the first half and full game. What do you like in this game?
I think I'm going to avoid this game. I do think Phoenix is in position here to blow them out, but 14.5 is a little steep for me without Ayton. OKC's keeps games remotely close for the most part. I know they're off a back-to-back here, but I don't mind giving 14.5 last night in a situation where Milwaukee's playing a G League Orlando team. But 14.5 is a massive, massive line to give to a team rolling out guys like SGA, Lou Dort, and you're running it back with McGee on the other side here at center. So I could see the Phoenix blowout. I'll avoid this game for DFS because of it, but I won't be touching this line. It's a little too wide for me.
You don't see any value in JaVale McGee? I mean, I think he's actually been a great backup for Ayton.
He's good. He's active, but we know what we're going to get out of JaVale McGee. If he's not getting lobs, he's not doing, anything. Memphis, basically took him out of the game completely. I think he ended up with like 6 points, a couple rebounds. He should fare better here against the OKC bigs, but 14.5, man, it's a little too wide for me.
Okay, man. Yeah, you are with the public on this. There is a strong side on OKC here. And like I said, I'm just not really afraid of this spread. If you are afraid of that 14.5, definitely take Phoenix Suns first half. This is a game they could easily be up by 20 first half. So we'll see how this goes. Utah Jazz at Portland, man. Right now, Utah Jazz is -6.5. This is a high total, 228.5. Lines haven't moved here. Haven't moved. Corey, remember we were talking about Utah not covering spreads, right? And then you have a short number here. A short number. Portland doesn't play defense. So I could see the 228. Utah Jazz, honestly, should go in here and blow them out. Blow them out. They've got players out. Portland Trailblazers have players out. No Nurkic, no Kova, or no Rocco, no McLemore, no Smith. McCollum is still recovering. I thought he was good. I thought McCollum was good. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, there's just nobody to play for Portland right now. This line scares me also. Just like the Laker and Memphis game, this line scares me. Even though it's Portland, even though it's home, I would think that this game would honestly be a little higher of a spread. I would think at least an 8. But if you got two teams really that are just going to try to shoot out the building, you never know. It's just about who's the hottest team shooting for the day. I don't see any defense coming from Portland at all. And you got a team who just throws threes in Utah. This is a game, man, to where Utah should win easily. They should coast this game, but they haven't been covering spreads. They've lost. They've won the last four, but they've lost all four of those spreads, Corey. All four of those spreads. So they're not covering. So because of that, even though I'm thinking that this game should be a game that should get away from Portland, I'm afraid to bet it, to be honest with you. First off, I'm not putting your money on Portland, right? But 6.5, and you're not covering spreads, I'm just going to watch this game, man. I'm off of it. No movement from the books at all. You haven't seen this go to a 7. Kind of telling here, man. What do you like? Players, sides, DFS? You got anything on this game?
I like Utah here. I think the line's short because we don't have Donovan Mitchell, but I thought they looked fine against the Spurs. The game, they lose the spread on a last-second tip-in by the Spurs. But overall, I thought they played good in that game. I think Jordan Clarkson does what he wants with this Trailblazers defense. So I think this is a great game to stack for DFS. I'll be on Clarkson, possibly Conley as well here for the guards. Yeah, I just don't think Portland's got the depth here. I don't think they play good enough defense. The Jazz do play good D. And let's look inside. I mean, with Nurkic out, I mean, Gobert should absolutely feast down low against this team. So, yeah, I like Utah here. We'll wait and see if some news comes out. It does seem like the line's a little short, but I think I'm just going to attribute it to Mitchell being out. They haven't been covering. Yeah, I'm on Utah here, I think.
That's crazy. So them not covering spreads don't scare you at all.
Like I said, and it's just they're playing close. It's not like they're 10-point favorites winning by 2. I mean,
right.
They don't cover the last game by half a point on the last second tip in. I just don't think Portland fares well matchup wise either. Just no defense on the perimeter against a team that's gonna just get hot. Utah can light it up real quick. So we'll see.
Okay, man. We will see here. This one's kind of ballsy on your end, man. But hey, like they say, scare money don't make money. Last game for the evening, man. We have Dallas at Sacramento. Right now, this line is Dallas minus 1.5. Total is 220 here. This one also hasn't moved. Looked at this line last night. It's kind of stayed where it's at. And Dallas has actually been playing pretty good. They have lost a couple, but they did go in and beat Portland real bad. They beat Minnesota bad. And this is Sacramento's that kind of team, if you ask me, that's on that same tier, right? They lost to Utah and they lost to Milwaukee. Why this line is short is very telling. Why it hasn't moved to Dallas's favor is very, very telling. Dallas has been injured. You've had the same people out. And right now, the Kings, they're healthier, right? So this one's kind of scary as well. I'm not going to play this game. Another game that I have no interest in, only because you have just a team that I don't have interest in. I'm not interested in Sacramento. Sacramento was making really good money for folks in the beginning in their first half spreads. But maybe the book sees something we don't hear. 1.5 against how well Dallas has been playing against these second or bottom tier teams is very, very telling here. So I don't have a play on this game. I'm not going to play this game at all. You do see that there's been a little bit of rest on both ends. Sacramento is coming off a game they just played yesterday, and it's only 1.5, bro. Yeah, that's saying a lot. So I'm off of this game right now, man, until I try to figure out why this line is so short. I don't have any interest in it. Players, sides, totals. What are you looking at here?
I like Dallas. It is short, and I'm going to wait to get to the window because it's so short. But if everybody plays, I think Porzingis is probably one of the best pay-up options tonight. And I think Dallas handles them, man. We got Sacramento on a back-to-back, played heavy competitive minutes last night. I think it's got Dallas written all over it. So we'll see. I'm going to wait. There might be some injuries. Some guys might be sitting out here that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, if this line stays at 1.5 and we get a full starting lineup out of Dallas, I think that's the play.
Yeah, I mean, Willie Cauley-Stein went out. That's a big. I mean, they've got some guys out, but still, man, this line is kind of weird to me. So are you sitting Porzingis? Probably not. I mean, you haven't played for the last 2 days, so I don't see why you're sitting anybody for rest. This is a game that you can easily steamroll a squad who just played last night. So yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Here are the plays that I'm on so far. I am looking at the Chicago -8.5. I do believe that's a game that's going to get out of hand for Atlanta. I do like San Antonio. That's probably a -1. But if you wait, there may be more money that comes in on Miami. But San Antonio first quarter is a play that I'm going to look at heavy. I will get to the window there. I'm just going to wait on this number to see how it goes. And then looking at Phoenix first half and full game here. First half and full game. That number also I'm going to wait on. You might get some more money on OKC. That's not a positive play for me because, to your point, we still don't have Ayton in, and Ayton means a lot here, right? So I would be more interested in the first half. So I may not step on the full game, but I do have interest in that full game play. But for right now, my more positive plays are going to be the San Antonio first quarter and Chicago -8.5. What do you have for your plays and your lineup so far?
Yes, I'm going to be waiting definitely here before I get to the window. But right now, I'm looking at Memphis and over, Chicago and Boston are my plays right now that I feel pretty good about. As far as DFS goes, I'm going to be stacking that Charlotte Indiana game, the Lakers Memphis game,
Mm-hmm.
and then this Dallas Sacramento game. So really just playing 3 games tonight. I think you're going to get plenty of value, around the league once all these injury reports come out tonight.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, unless some crazy news comes out, I'll probably end up getting to the window on Dallas as well. So it should be a big night for betting. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see 9 games on the slate tonight. Basketball is starting to look a little better. The season is not going away. It is not going to be canceled as it looks. We will see, man. We will see. And that is, once again, getting in the green. Strangers, it is me, your boy. It's Durrell with my partner in crime, Corey G. Yes, RIP to the legend himself, John Madden. Yo, real quick. Guy on couch tells me, yo, dog, Raiders are going to the playoffs now. Raiders are going to go to the playoffs and they're going to win and then they'll lose. I'm like, bro. He's like, they got to do it for John. They got to do it for John. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
They'll dedicate next year to him.
Yeah, next year. Next year, the year after next year. All right, my man. It was good hanging out with you again. We will run it back tomorrow, where hopefully we've got some winners on the board where we'll be continually getting in the green. Until next time, y'all be easy.